Hi, welcome back everybody, hope you're well. Today I'm doing a get ready with me, hair and makeup. So I'm going to go from this to this. So as usual, grab a cuppa, get comfy and stay a while. So first up, I'm going to, as you can see, I've washed my hair. I've been using this John Frieda Pro Filler Serum, Scalp Serum for fine hair. I've been getting a bit of, losing a bit of hair around here. I think it's a menopause thing. If you know, you know. And so I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on. I've been using it now for about 3 months. Whoops. And it says to use it once a day for 3 months and then 1 to 2 times a week thereafter. So I normally put this on when I wash my hair, but you just gently rub it in and then I can leave that to soak in while I'm doing my makeup. So I've not put my face creams on yet. So as you know, I shop at Aldi, or if you don't know, I shop at Aldi. I use this, it's a take on the Nivea, but it's Aldi's own Lacura Q10 Anti-Wrinkle Eye Cream. I've been using it for quite some years. I don't think my skin's bad for 53. Let me know in the comments if you think otherwise. In fact, no, don't. So I just dab this on my ring fingers and just gently tap it around my eye. It soaks in really well, but I normally don't use heavy creams. My skin's quite good without all that heaviness. I've used it in the past when I was younger, but I didn't really see the benefit, and it turned me a bit more spotty. Not that I get spots. Anyway, next up we're going with the same range Q10 Lacura Multi-Intensive Serum, Anti-Wrinkle again. We all live in hope that these anti-wrinkle creams do something, but again, I'm quite happy with my skin. I'll try and grow old gracefully. I prefer to spend my money on going away than fillers and Botox and all that. It's not my bag. But I'll never say never. I might have Botox when I get really wrinkly, but for now, we'll stick to the cheap Lacura range. So I'll just let that sink in a little while, and then I will put the same range again, the Q10 Anti-Wrinkle Day Cream, and this has actually got an SPF 20 in it. So yeah, it's really, really good actually for the money. I'm quite happy with it. So I'll pop that on. Not too much, it does soak in nice, but I don't like that greasy feel on your skin. And then I go down my neck as usual. Try and keep the wrinkles at bay on your neck. So anyway, it's Sunday afternoon. If you saw my last video, you'll have seen me this morning fighting with cleaning my fridge, fighting with all the drawers and things in the bath. I'll link it below. And yeah, so we're going out to join a couple of our friends, and my niece Laura is joining us. She's sat quietly down here. So yeah, we're just going to go and have a few Christmas drinks down at a local pub. In fact, they've had Christmas carol singers on this afternoon at 2 o'clock, but we'll not be getting there till about 4:30. So anyway, that's the cream on. I'll let that soak in and then we'll go in with the makeup. Okay, let's go in with the face makeup. So I start off using the NYX, is it NYX? Is it NYX? I don't know. But it's their pore filler primer. I do have a few larger pores around here, but I find it just makes the skin feel nicer and my foundation does settle a bit better. And just while my face is clear of makeup, you'll see that a few years ago I had my eyebrows microbladed because I don't really have much eyebrow and the shape was, I wasn't happy with the shape. So I've not had them done this year, but they still give me the shape I need, but I'll show you how I do my eyebrows later. So I just put a little bit of this on. It makes a funny noise when it comes out. Oh, it didn't that time. I just rub it between my fingers and I just pop it here where the pores are a little bit more open. And then up here just to maybe help with the wrinkles, who knows. Oh dear, I look terrible in this light. I don't normally see my face this bright when I'm getting ready. So yeah, and then what I've been using, and I do actually like number 7 makeup, but I do have a mixture of makeup. Again, I'm not set to a certain brand. Price is better for me, and if it works, I don't care what price it is. More on the cheaper range than more expensive. So for a few years I've been using the number 7 Stay Perfect foundation. Again, this has got an SPF 30 in it, and I do normally mix a couple of colours together. This is the Deeply Beige, and this is the Honey, I think it was. In the summer, when I've got a bit more colour, I do use the Deeply Beige, and then in the winter this one, but I feel I might be a bit too pale with this, so I'll just mix this, pop a little bit on the back of my hand, and then a couple of pumps of the other one. And then I put my foundation on with a brush. Some people use the fingers. I always used to use my fingers, to be fair, and just rub it in. But I use a brush these days, and then I use a sponge just to take off the excess. So I'll just go in and put some of this on. I don't like it to be too cakey, so if I need to layer it, I will. I'm going with a little bit for now. I don't know why my nose is so red round there. I don't do my eyes just yet. I do that when there's less on the brush. But my eyes have always been dark underneath. And whenever I don't wear makeup, everybody will say, "Are you okay? Do you feel all right?" It's like, no, I've just got no makeup on. I look this rough. But I've never been able to find anything that takes away completely the dark under my eyes. And I don't put too much in my eyebrows either, because otherwise it just looks cakey. One thing I did forget to do first, which it doesn't matter because I don't do my eyes yet, I use Catrice Under Eye Brightener. Now, I got this off of the Look Fantastic website, and Catrice is a German brand, really, really good price, and I find some of their makeup stays on really well, and I'm talking a few pounds, really good price. But I noticed when I went into, I think I went into Primark at Nottingham yesterday. Theirs is a bigger Primark than where I live. And I noticed a makeup stand with Catrice makeup. Sorry, something's just gone off. Just went a bit darker. It is going darker outside. So I just put this underneath. I don't want to put too much under my eyes because it will just settle into the wrinkles. So I just dab that in. And you can see it does brighten it up a little bit. Pop it into the corners as well, in the purpley bits. I think if you get dark circles or dark under your eyes, a salmon colour or a peachy colour is supposed to counteract it. And green, you can get all these different creams. Green is to hide rosacea. Some people get that on the cheeks and nose. So anyway, that's on. I'm just going to touch up a little bit of the foundation on this side. Going down the neck a little bit so you don't get that horrible tie line. Blend it in. And then I'm just going to sweep it over my eyes. Just to give a bit of coverage there, because I will go in with some concealer on my eyes afterwards. There. Okay, now I go in with my sponge and I just dab, dab, dab. Can you see me? Oh yeah, you can still see me. That'll be better. Just to blend it all in, because sometimes I think you can see brush marks if you're not careful. So, what are you lot doing for Christmas? Are you out at pre-Christmas parties, or is it more of a between Christmas and New Year? Or do you have a big blowout on Christmas Day? I'm not going out as much as I normally do, but then I am working right up to Christmas Eve. And as you probably are the same yourselves, there's a lot to do in the lead up to Christmas. My kids are grown up now, thank goodness, but you know, if they were a bit younger, it is manic. So yeah, I'm going to quite enjoy going out this afternoon. I like afternoon day drinking, as we call it, because you can go out, have fun, be back home in bed for 9 o'clock. Okay, so that's the foundation part done. Then I put on some concealer, because no natural beauty here. Look at the state of this. This is actually the Catrice Again concealer, True Skin it's called. High coverage concealer. I don't know the colour, it's that, oh no, sorry. Warm Macadamia 005. This is a good concealer. I have used the Yves Saint Laurent, I've used Maybelline, lots of different ones. I think they all do a similar job, but again, like I say, I've not found one that is the holy grail. Maybe I'm just not spending enough money on it, but yeah, you've seen me in my other videos. I don't look picture perfect. So yeah, any improvements better than nothing. So again, I just dab that on the bits that need a little bit extra coverage instead of going in with more foundation. And I just round my nose there. I don't know why, but I seem to be getting some redness around that bit there. Could be because I've had a cold and flu. And then just pat under the eyes. And on the eyelid. And I always think this then acts as a primer for your eyeshadow. You know, some people do put on eyeshadow primers, but yeah, I think concealer does the same thing. I'm no makeup artist, as you can tell. There. So that's covered up a little bit. I'm not sure if, I don't think I need any more on. I might go in on my eyes again in a little bit after I've done my eye makeup, just to tidy it up a little bit. So, before everything creases, i.e. the foundation, I like to go in with a little bit of setting powder. And again, I don't use much because I do find that this can dry out your face a bit more, but this is Trigwell Cosmetics setting powder, and I use one of these little sponges that comes with it. So I literally, I kind of shake the pot and then take the lid off, and then instead of dipping it into all the powder and getting too much on, I use what's in the lid, and it's really not much at all, but just helps to set and take off that sticky feel. I hate the sticky feel of anything. I don't wear body lotion because I hate the way it makes my skin feel tacky all day. And sun cream, don't get me on with sun cream, but if it means I can lay on a sun lounger and get a tan, I'll put up with the sun cream. So yeah, literally that's all I do with the powder. So there we go, that's the powder done. Moving on, I go in with some bronzer. I don't do contour and all that. I do feel I'm a bit too old for that. But I do use this Benefit Hoola bronzer. But I do contour a little bit with this rather than using a separate one. So I use a fairly big brush, and I'll just put a little on where you would put contour. That looks bright on there. It's not that bright, honestly, in real life. And then again on that cheek, and you can see it's kind of contoured my face a bit there. Then I go in on the forehead, and this is supposed to make your face all like smaller, I think, especially if you've got a large forehead like me. And then I just sweep it over the rest of my face just to blend it in down my neck, down the nose for a bit of a more lifelike look instead of looking like a ghost. Oh, Laura's been very quiet down there. I'll get her on camera in a bit. She's all dolled up, she looks lovely. She's only 34. I'm 53. No, I'm not, I'm 52. So I know I can't compete with her, but still got to look half decent, haven't I? Because otherwise it's embarrassing for her going out with her auntie who looks old and decrepit. And then the blusher I'm using is an e.l.f. and this is in the colour Always Rosy. It's a pinky browny terracotta, which I think is nice for winter, autumn. I do have a couple of these in more pinky ones for the summer. It's really pigmented, so I just put a little bit on. And rather than putting your blusher down here, which can draw your face down at our age, my age, if you do a smile and then do it on the top of your cheeks, there, just a little bit, and build it up. And I kind of do like a tick from my cheek up my face there onto my temple. It does look really pigmented on camera, but honestly, I don't look like a clown in real life. And I'm sure if I did, my niece would be saying, Auntie Alison, you look like a clown, do your makeup again. Am I looking clownish? No, I'm not. Okie dokie, so that's sort of like the base done. I'll move into the eyes now. Now, I'm not quite sure if you're going to see this very clearly because I have to get a bit like a contortionist doing my eyebrows. Anyway, I've not got much eyebrow, as you can see there. And I've got a little bit of shape from when I had the microblading. But what I have found that's really good, it's the, what make is it? Brow Art Studio. Got this off of Amazon after it was recommended. Hair Like Eyebrow Pen, ultra thin tips, natural brows, is in the shade, I think it's just chocolate brown. So this, on one end, it's got like a brush with 4 little bristles on it to create the hair-like strokes, and then the other end has just got a single line maker. But I don't use that. My hand's not steady enough, and it's probably not going to be very steady today vlogging for you guys. So we'll give it a whirl. So I basically don't know if you can see that, but I go in really lightly, and you have to do it with the pen tip sort of like at a 90-degree angle, because otherwise if you do it too flat you get like a big blodge. So let's give it a go. See, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I'll tidy this up afterwards, but can you see the strokes it's making there? So can you see it gives the brush-like strokes, which I think is quite realistic, but I've not done a very good job with them. But hey-ho, once I've had a couple of wines, I'll not really care. And then after that, because they're not even, and it's quite hard to get in the position to do it, especially when you can't see, I have a normal eyebrow pencil that I used to use, which is a Maybelline Express Brow Ultra Slim pencil. It's got a spoolie on one end. This is what I used to do my eyebrows with, and it's got quite a fine tip. And I just go in and tidy up underneath to make it a straight line. So there. What do you think to that? It's all right from a distance. Right, so then I will put some eyeshadow on. Okay, so a bit of eye makeup today, not too much. It is day drinking after all, but anyway, so I used the Catrice again. This is only a few pounds for this lovely palette. But today I'm literally going to be using this one for the base, this one for the outer edges, and a bit of this goldy colour just on the lid, and this very pale one in the brow and just on top of the eye. So let's go in. I use quite a big brush to start off with. This is probably a blending brush, but I just go over the whole eye to just lighten up the eye. Gives quite a good base as well. And then going in with a slightly smaller brush, I'll just put a dusting over the eyebrow. Not the eyebrow, the eyelid. And I've got actually quite hooded eyes and deep set eyes. So all this lovely winged liner and the rest of that, I can't do that on my eyes. And because I've got hooded eyes, you see that comes over there, you can't actually see much of that mobile lid. If you look down and then you place your brush higher up into the arch and then blend down, it actually gives you a look where the actual eye's more open. And you can see some of the colour, because otherwise if I just put all the colour on the lid, you wouldn't see the eyeshadow when my eyes were open. So hopefully you can still see that. And then I just blend that in. And focus more on these corners rather than the whole eye, because I am going to lighten up this part of the eye anyway. Same on the other eye. There's lots of tutorials on hooded eye makeup. I'm not good enough to do a full tutorial on that, that's for sure. This is just to get ready with me. And I've tried using these, you know, the black cat eye liquid pens I look like a panda, I look like I've been punched in the eye. So we gave that up as a bad job and just stuck to what we know. And then I will just put a bit of that same colour underneath the eye just to frame it. Makes the eye pop a little bit more. Makes the white of your eyes look a bit whiter. Okie dokie. I think I've just dropped one of my brushes, but never mind, we'll use a different one. So when people talk about this outer V, it just lifts the eye up a little bit, especially when you get to a certain age. So that's why I'm going to use this darker brown here and just literally put some at the end here and kind of not press on very hard, but I just go up at the edges and just pop it on the outer part of the eye. Okay, let's give all that a good blend. And you kind of just do a whisking motion. Again, not pressing on very hard. Laura, how are we doing?
Looking good.
Looking good. Good out. Okay, so now I am going to use, actually I don't know whether I might use this more champagne colour rather than the goldy colour. Let me just pop it on the back of my hand, see what we think. That one? Can you see that? Or that one? Yeah, Laura says the paler one. So we're going to go in with this one. So I'm just going to use my finger and literally just, oh, that is quite pigmented. That's probably a little bit more than I were expecting. Let's get that blending brush out. Tap, tap, tap. So next up I use to just top line the eye. I don't use false eyelashes or have my lashes done. I have got quite long eyelashes actually, but just to make them look a little bit more filled in without putting a thick line across the top, I use this Maybelline tattoo liner. It's really good. It doesn't transfer like some tight lining eye pencils do, where you find it transfers at the bottom, and it is actually quite difficult to get off. It's really waterproof, and I literally just go as close to the lashes as possible but underneath. So I'm just going to do this close up, else I will make a pig's ear of my eye makeup, and I'll show you the effect it gives. So there, can you see the difference? It just makes the liner, the lash line look more full, ready for the mascara to go on. There. And then we'll go in with mascara. Now I normally use two mascaras. These are both Makeup Academy mascaras. Again, I've used lots of different ones in the past. I think these are brilliant. They're like £2 or £3 each. Get these from Superdrug. They probably sell them all over the place. But I normally go in with this volume one. Amplify Statement Lash, full volume. And then for the second coat, I use this curl one. To be fair, I just pick up whatever's in there as long as it's black. Sometimes it's waterproof, but they're all really good. And again, good price. And I like this brush. What I start off with is these. They're like a rubber brush with tiny little bristles. I find that they separate the eyelashes better. Almost combs them really well. And then the second mascara is more of a pipe cleaner kind, what they call spoolie kind. And I feel that then that coats the eyelash better. And if you look down when you're putting your mascara on, you don't get all the black up on your eyelid. So just separate those. I'll show you them. One eye done, one eye not done. That's the first coat with the volume mascara going on. And I think that's separated the lashes quite well. And then the second one, it's slightly curved, so you can kind of get it right up into your eyelash without touching your skin, if you can do it quite light-handed. What do you think to that? I think you can see the difference with that second. There, what do you think about that? I think my eyelashes are quite long actually. And then I just put a little bit of mascara on the bottom lash. So that's the eye makeup complete. I am just going to go and put a little bit of concealer again under my eyes, just to catch any fallout and just to try and cover up those dark circles again. I might actually put this on. I've got this Catrice under eye camouflage, it's called. Well, ultimate camouflage. I don't know if it's necessarily just for under the eye. It's in W Fair 015. I don't know if this is for blemishes or scars and things like that, but I'm just going to put a little bit under the eye to see if we think there's any difference. Let me just get my brush. I'll just use this brush to sweep away any powder. Right, let's give this a whirl. I do sometimes use it, but it is quite heavier. But maybe that's what's needed today. And I don't wear my glasses when I go out. I put contact lenses in, so when I do my day makeup and I just wear glasses in the day, I do feel that my glasses hide some of this dark circle. But when I wear my lenses, yeah, it definitely needs a bit more help. My nose looks a bit red as well there, so we'll put that on there. What does that look like? A bit better? Okay, so we'll finish off doing the lips. Again, I've got the Catrice brand plumping lip liner in, what colour is this? Well, it says Manhattan. I think it's supposed to be Manhattan, but anyway, it's 069 Manhattan. So I do normally do a lip liner because as you get older and you get wrinkles, you don't want your lipstick to bleed. So I'll give a lip liner there. I think you can see it. Sorry, I'm going to need to use my close-up mirror here. There we go. I'm not into all this overlining lips. I think that's for the young ones to do. And then actually I use the rest of the lip liner to colour in the lip because I find it keeps your lipstick on a bit longer. So there's the lips lined, and I'll take that out with me. Not that I normally put the lip liner back on again, to be fair, because I normally add a few too many. And then the lipstick I'm using is MAC, a MAC one, and it's called, it's number 540. Thanks, it's MAC, it's called. There's the finished makeup. I think it looks okay. I'll go and do something with my wig now. Catch you in a minute.
So, seeing as this video is already half an hour long, I'll do a follow-up video that shows how I've done my hair. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.